Dr. K.S. Nagesh was born on 23rd May 1947 and has an outstanding experience of 47 plus years. He received Venson's gold medal for securing overall highest in B.D.S. He has done his Master of Dental Surgery in Oral Medicine and Radiology and Bachelor of Dental Surgery from Bangalore University in 1975 and 1969 respectively. Dr. Nagesh has been conferred with the prestigious award Doctor of Science Honoris Causa by the Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Karnataka in 2019. He has also been conferred with the highest civilian award of Karnataka, that is Karnataka Rajyosthsava Award in Medicine in 2005. He has also worked as the chairman of Ethics Committee for Human Subjects in National Institute for Mental Health and Neurosciences, India. He has been an international campaigner on health and human rights from last 2 decades. Dr. Nagesh was honored as Indian Ambassador for Orpheus. He served as Director of Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Public Health and Center for Disease Control, RGHS, Karnataka, Professor and HOD for Department of Oral Medicine and Radiology, and Principal for RV Dental College, Bangalore. As the Principal of RV Dental College, Dr. Nagesh initiated financial and logistical support program through Rashtriya Sikshana Samiti Trust to reach out to people in the social and rural periphery. The program was successfully covered with rural and urban areas of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and even Himachal Pradesh. In around 908 camps, treated about 2,88,278 patients at zero cost to the patients. He also initiated tri-sector partnership in Tamil Nadu to promote oral health in schools and service, and this led to the WHO Bangalore Declaration of Oral Health in 2005. Dr. Nagesh also led Bangalore Health City Initiative, a tri-sector partnership between the government, private sector and civil society to provide preventive cardiology care to 6,000 sanitary workers of the Bangalore City Corporation and 16,000 employees of KRCTC. He has written numerous remarkable books, which include a book on oral health in Kannada published by Kannada Development Authority. He has also written textbooks on oral medicine and radiology, and he has also contributed a chapter in a world famous textbook titled Oral Diseases in Tropics, authored by Dr. S.R. Prabhu, published by Oxford Publishers. Dr. Nagesh's life work has been a foundation towards comprehensive right to health legislation to empower the common man, like the Right to Information and Right to Education Acts. He has delivered many public lectures on All India Radio and various television channels.
Welcome to yet another episode of Eclectica, and I already have my guest here today with me, Dr. K.S. Nagesh. Thank you so much for being here on Eclectica, the different views.
Thank you for inviting me.
Sir, it's a pleasure to have you, and today we are here to learn about your journey, and we will try to catch up and shots of motivation from your entire journey. So I will have a lot of questions to ask you today.
Okay.
I would really be interested to know if you take back us to your early days of your academic journey, and particularly what inspired you to pursue a career in the field of dentistry and ultimately in academics as well as in administration.
You see, I belong to the pre-independence era because I was born in May 1947. So in 1960s, when I qualified to join for a graduate program, any middle class family had only 3 choices: engineering, medicine, and other courses. And from the beginning, I was not interested in engineering, even though my father was an engineer, my brother was an engineer. So my aim was to go for a medicine, M.B.S. At that time in Karnataka, there were only 4 government medical colleges and 1 private college in Manipal which was prohibitively costly for any middle class people. And also in government, the number of seats were only 400 seats. So we had to compete for such a big number of students for 400 seats. What happened is my dentist, one Dr. Padmanabhan, where I used to go as a child, one day I went after I finished my 12th standard. He asked me, what do you want to do? I said, I want to do M.B.S. I don't know whether I'll be able to get the seat. He said, why not you take up dentistry? It is a very upcoming branch and only one college is there and you have a lot of future also. And the founder principal of Government Dental College where I did my graduation, Dr. Ramchandra, was our family friend. He also suggested you join this course, you have a lot of scope. There also seats were only 30 seats. So I had to compete for the 30 seats and luckily I got into dentistry and no regrets as such because that's how the journey started in a government institution and that's how it started and brought me to this stage.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your experience and sharing your journey, the story with us. And so, sir, I mean, it was a different era when you joined dentistry, and today things have changed a lot. So I think you, as a person, have witnessed a lot of revolutionary changes in your entire path. Were there any particular special mentors or experiences that significantly influenced your path?
You see, after I joined the course, like any other student, initially we used to have a lot of extracurricular activities because ours was combined with the Bangalore Medical College. So medical students, dental students, all were together. So first 1 year I used to focus on little of extracurricular activities like drama and all those things. But that has brought on my academic performance. Then I realized I should do well in my academics and later on I can think of any other alternatives. So fortunately, in all the 4 years, which was then a 4-year course, I stood first in the university and I bagged the best outgoing student gold medal also. And I was the first one to receive from Government Dental College. Here I want to share one profound impact I had while I was awarded a gold medal. Say Dr. Ramchandra was a founder principal. He has come from a rural background. He said that you having graduated from a government college, you must go back to the society. So you must go to some rural area and do service before pursuing your higher academic qualifications. And he was instrumental in asking government of Karnataka to create posts at taluk levels in Karnataka. And we were about 40 graduates from 2 batches. And that's how I went to a place called Nanjangud near Mysore, a rural area, where I did a service for 3 years in the government hospital. See, that was a time when I realized that how the life is very difficult in a rural area. I'm speaking about 50, 55 years back. Now a lot of changes have occurred, revolutionized in the communication, in all the system. But at that time, the people were so poor and they were coming to the hospital with the agonizing pain. There's someone which touched me, and that's what Dr. Ramchandra, one of my first mentors, said, that you must first treat your patient as a god, because he has come to you with a faith that you are a god, but you also should see that he gets the relief so that you are treating as if he is a god. Don't treat him as anything else. So that made a profound impact, and the 3 years of experience which I had it in Nanjangud, exposed to rural people, has changed my career and my attitude towards the profession itself. And Dr. Ramchandra, when I received the gold medal, he said, now it's a time for you to go up and join post-graduation. He's the one who brought me to post-graduation. Luckily, in the post-graduation, I had a very good mentor, Dr. B.K. who was then the vice principal. He was my professor, mentor, and I selected a branch, this oral medicine and radiology. That's again a very upcoming branch in dentistry. Because as a rank student, I was to get any branch that I my choice. But these two people, Dr. Ramchandra and Dr. Venkataraman, advised me, you take up this branch, it is an upcoming branch, so that you will have a lot of scope in the coming years. And there also, luckily, I did well. And after I did, both of them said, you are now fit for the academic post. So why not you come to the college and join as a faculty? That's how my journey as a faculty, as a lecturer, began in Government Dental College in 1976, where I stayed up to 1992. That is 16 years of my academic service in government college. In government college means you get a lot of patients. We used to get about 600 patients per day, and hardly 2 people were there as faculty members. And I had to, postgraduate students were there, undergraduate students were there, and we had to have a lot of clinical discussion. In the meantime, being the first assistant to the principal, Dr. Venkataraman, and later on Dr. Rajiv Shri.K. and Dr. Govardhan M.D.S, I had to do a lot of academic administrative work also. I learned a lot of administrative skills from them. Whatever the best of them, I learned from them. And having worked under 3 principals, I did a lot of administrative experience, which later helped me when I joined the Orbit Dental College. But during this period in Government Dental College, the emphasis was more on my academics, because that was my first cup of tea. I used to have a lot of discussion of rare cases, rare patients who were coming with the students. And students also were very good at that time. Not that students are today are bad, but at least they were also, because they wanted to make a career. And they had a lot of discussion among faculty and the students. Interactive discussions were more. At that time, only blackboard and chalk piece, no, nothing else. That was only thing. Yeah, so that changed my or strengthened my academic background. And I should thank my students as well as for patients, because each patient himself or herself is a wealth of information. See, the story that they give you, the story, the problem that they face, it will change your treatment plan or your diagnosis or whatever it is. And the students are also very good, and they used to come from different parts of India. So they used to have a lot of discussion. They were telling what's the problem in their state. Some people used to come from Assam, some people from Delhi, students. So that student-teacher relationship has really touched me. Even other day, when I met one of my students, he said, "Sir, 45 years back, he came from US and you have taught me, and after that, I'm not forgotten any of the things. I still remember when I teach my students, I always quote, I was taught by so and so. That's how, and really there is one gratifying. If a student comes after 40 years and says that this is the one which has helped me to further enhance my academic career, I think that is the greatest satisfaction as an academician.
Wonderful, sir. It is so inspiring, and I can relate to it a lot. The reason is that because my dad was of the era which you are speaking about, and probably he was before that, because my hometown, I belong from a small town in West Bengal, which is Berhampur. He was the first dentist there, and the clinic he opened up was in 1964. So he has been my inspiration today. Today, what I am is just because of him and following his principles. So I can really relate to what you say, because I have seen people coming to my dad from, because it was again a rural place. So all it is surrounded by villages. And the thing that you told, I think I have, as a child, I grew up seeing the same thing. Like my dad would treat the patients not just like a customer or client. It is something, a different type of connection. They used to come and tell their problems also, financial problems also sometimes. So I think that was something, a different era, and I think a lot of learnings needs to be inculcated in our present generation and upcoming generation as well. So I think it is fantastic to know your story. It is so inspiring.
I'm very
So
happy that I and your father belongs to the same era and the same time.
absolutely. So sir, like, you have been a avid academician and researcher before coming to your administrative area of your career. So many researchers have a particular area of interest or passion within their field. So what sparked interest in your specific research area, and how it evolved over the years?
See, when I was in government college itself, the one area that was at that time was in the oral cancer, because Cancer Institute was established in Bangalore, and Dr. Krishna Bhargava, who was my co-guide in the postgraduate studies, he's the one. He said, "See, a lot of opportunities for research are there in cancer field." It is way back in 1970 and 80s, when the cancer was still in its initial stage. Now you find a lot of different types of cancer, maybe because of awareness is increased, or more of diagnostic tools are available. But he said that tobacco is the main cause for the oral cancer, and he made me as one of the co-investigator for anti-tobacco tobacco cessation program under WHO, ICMR, and Cancer Institute, Bangalore. And that's how I started doing work on oral cancer under the influence and the guidance of Dr. Krishna Bhargava. And the other area was in 1990, when All India Institute of Medical Sciences in Delhi, when Dr. Sushila was there, she was a professor of anatomy. She has done a lot of work in the field of fluoride, because excess fluoride in the drinking water is one of the main community challenges that we face in our country. Especially, I don't know much about the northern India, but in southern India, in Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh, a lot of areas where the drinking water was high content of fluoride, as a result of which people used to have dental fluorosis, then skeletal fluorosis. Skeletal fluorosis, when you see in the rural areas, a person affected, he is totally incapacitated. And this dental fluorosis was such a social problem that the neighboring villages or the states, they were not prepared to marry girl from the area where there's endemic fluorosis. Because they say that teeth are all yellowish. We don't want such a girl to be our daughter-in-law. So apart from scientific challenge, it was also a social challenge. And under Rajiv Gandhi National Drinking Water Mission, well, this was one program, one research program was launched by Dr. Sushila and AIMS, of which I was the part of it, and I did a lot of epidemiological survey and research in Karnataka, because she had assigned me the Karnataka areas. So these are the two areas which still have a lot of research scope, not only as a dentist, but as an interdisciplinary one. Because the drinking water is not a domain of dentists, it's an engineer who's involved. And that's how we have to bring in a lot of people. Later on, I think you're asking question on the interdisciplinary. I'll come to that.
Sure, sir. Sure. So, sir, another interesting area which I would like to ask you is, balancing administrative responsibilities as a director and maintaining an active research agenda. These both are kind of very demanding job roles. So how did you manage your time effectively to excel in both these fields?
See, after I joined Orbit Dental College, because I took the voluntary retirement from government service, at that time, a lot of private colleges had come up. I had the ambition to uh, put in my areas of administration, research, and teaching into a private institution. Because government, lot of restrictions are there because hierarchy is there. So, and I selected Orbit Dental College because the trust which runs various educational institutions in Karnataka, they are very committed for a quality education and the service. Because I did a little bit of marketing before joining, because I wanted to join an institution where there will be support for research, academic activities, and I found RV institutions which was founded by one Shivanand Sharma, and later on Dr. Pandring Shetty and Mr. D.A. Pandu. They were all highly committed for the education, for the cause of the public, because they were not profit-making institutions. They were only wanted service and they wanted the best of the academics. So when I joined the institution, the only condition I put was I should have the full freedom to select my team. So of teachers or the faculty. Otherwise, no other thing. And certainly, when you have entrusted responsibility on me and confidence on me, I'm accountable. I should give the best of the result to your expectation. With their support, I got a very good faculty, and I should say in the 20 years of my experience in Harvard Dental College, where I had opportunity to bring in people of different countries, starting from America, England, developing countries, Australia, New Zealand, including China, Japan, all excellent academicians with whom I had fortunately had contacts because I attended a number of international meetings, I presented them, I got acquainted with them, and I brought in the dean and director of the Harvard Dental School. He is with a great difficulty because he said that normally I don't go out, and this is the first time I'm coming to India. And when he came and went back in the Harvard newsletter, he said that Harvard Dental College under Dr. Nagesh is one of the best institutions I have seen in the world. So the academic programs which launched was highly beneficial to the students because they were exposed to so many people drawn from different state of different countries where they had the problem and the presentation. And today I should say after the Harvard dean went back, my 3-4 graduates, they applied for the Harvard. The moment they said that we are passed out from Harvard Dental College, the dean said, within seconds, I will certainly accommodate you. And today they are doing exceedingly well in Harvard, which I am proud of. But at the same time, I didn't forget the rural areas where our need was there, because that was the one which my mentor, Dr. Ramchandra, said. So we had arranged nearly in 20 years of tenure about 1,000 camps all over South India in the rural areas, Andhra Pradesh, that Janmabhoomi program of Chandrababu Naidu, and Tamil Nadu, as well as Karnataka. Our students and the faculty were taken there with a mobile van, fully furnished mobile van, and we were the first one to have such a fully furnished mobile van in Bangalore. And our students, you see, they should know how the situation in a rural India. Because sitting at home with all the support and all pampering by the parents, any student will certainly think the same thing in other parts. But they should know how the rural people, what problems they are facing. Not only dental problem, but other problems also. And that is, I'm sure that widen the horizon of the students, both in academics, where we brought all the international tour speakers and these camps which help them. And today, nearly about 30% of students who have graduated from Oral Dental College have doing exceedingly well in USA and other parts. They have concentrated in areas of research. Of course, those who are here also, they are also doing very well, which is a satisfying one. And that's how I lived up to the expectations of our trust. I lived up to the expectation of our students, because parents, when they come and join, because their parents also do a lot of marketing now before putting their ward into the school. First, they look into the safety, how the academic standard, how the training, and so that still the students are coming from different parts of India. That means the college has maintained a very good reputation, and they feel that it is very safe to put their work here. That's how it happens. And naturally, it requires a lot of sacrifice of my time, family time especially, because I used to travel all along, and my wife being herself a psychiatrist, and only we have one daughter. Sometimes we also used to go out, and then we had a lot of problems in college getting to recognition from Dental Council of India. So administrative also to do a lot of work. Fortunately, I was a member of Dental Council of India for about 13 years. That has also helped me to have any insight into dental education regulation. And I was able to balance between the family, profession, thanks to my family support, my colleague support, and trust support, and the university. All the bodies, we had an excellent relationship, and with very supportive. That's how I was able to do it.
So it is very, we are seeing today a very broad sky through you. I think it is so wonderful to see the kind of initiatives you have taken in your life, and I completely agree. Like, when I think as a teacher, when the student succeeds, that's the best gift that one teacher can get from their life. So I think it's a very impactful, contributions that you have made in your students' lives. I must definitely say that. And getting you as a mentor, I think that has been their good luck as well. Like you had got your very good mentor. Yeah. So, sir, when you talked about interdisciplinary care, I mean interdisciplinary research, and I completely second your thoughts on that, because that is also one of my missions, where I always talk about interdisciplinary research, interdisciplinary science. So, and in this aspect, particularly in our healthcare, when it comes to healthcare, I'm sure you will agree that it is more about good collaborations. So I have one small thing to learn from you, that what according to you is the right way to foster partnerships between industry and academia, so that we can create a well-rounded healthcare workforce.
Yeah. You see, unfortunately, now the thinking has changed among the administrators, academicians, researchers. Unfortunately, all along, it was very segmental and narrow approach to a problem. As I said earlier, you see, the fluorosis, it is not just one area. There we involve the water supply, the water quality has to be checked, government has to provide safe drinking water, and the villagers are to be also educated about how important to have this water, and they should not use other water sources for drinking purpose at least, so that you cannot just limit to one area. So this segmental approach or compartmentalized approach is not a way if the science has to progress. It has to be transdisciplinary, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary. So we may involve the sociologists, we may involve the psychologists, we have to involve health professionals, we have to involve engineers, we have to involve the basic science, because most of the discoveries in medicine we take in the field of radiology or in the field of microbiology or drug. It is all mainly the basic sciences, like physics is there, mathematics is there, microbiology is there, pharmacy is there, all that things. So 70% of all the discoveries that we see in the medical field is from the engineering or from the basic science. Only when it comes to the application, it is for the patients. But the development of this is only from all other sources. So unless we have multidisciplinary approach, I always say instead of building the walls, we build the bridge between the various disciplines of science, because that's how we have to develop the science, not only health science, any other science we have to progress. And I'm sure that with the current thinking and the fast growing technology, the people will realize that this bridging the gap or bridging between the various disciplines is much more important than sitting in the room and doing some scientific work. That will not help. Because when I was in orbit, this DRDO, this Defense Research Development Organization, which was headed by our President, late Abdul Kalam, they had developed indigenous implants. And they are selected always one of the center for clinical trial. So we were fortunate enough to do that clinical trial with my colleague Dr. Nagesh, and we submitted the report to DRDO, which was highly appreciated. And now they want to go further and develop the implants, so that cost of implant will come down and it will reach out to a large number of patients who cannot otherwise afford the imported implants from other countries. Because now the focus is more on developing indigenous products, indigenous ones. But for that, one need to have open mind, go for interdisciplinary, shed your egoism, shed that you are the one who is the best. There are people who are still better than you, and you have to join hands with them, because ultimately it's going to develop the profession and benefit the humanity. That's the entire goal of any scientific inventions. That's what we have seen right from the days of our scientific inventions. Ultimately, it should go to the community at large. Community means now it's international. The world has become so small with all the technologies and that's all.
As we all know that when it comes to research, collaboration is a very crucial aspect. Or I think without collaboration, no research can happen. So, sir, could you share an example or any experience of rewarding collaboration in your life or in your entire career that significantly enhanced your research outcomes?
See, as a director of the Public Health Institute, Rajiv Institute of Public Health, I was very fortunate to have Dr. Pandringi, who was one of the pioneers in the field of public health in UK. Basically, he is from Bangalore. After his retirement, he came down to Bangalore and along with Dr. Shri.K, who was our Vice Chancellor of Bangalore University, he was able to put in the idea that we had to develop our own public health institute where we could do a lot of research works and also benefit the community, because he was a champion of right to health. And one of the parliament later on our parliament passed on the bill that right to health is a fundamental right. So there we made a very significant proposal to the government of India from Dr. Pandringi, Dr. Shri.K, and later on Dr. Shri Prakash, who was also the Vice Chancellor. We had a team of people, Dr. D.K. Srinivas, who was one of the pioneers in the field of public health in India. And we were able to get in the WHO support for that program. The WHO director came personally and he inaugurated this Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Public Health, which could be the source for the not only the public health activities but also the research. When it comes to the research, we need to have support not only of the men, because not all the people will be interested in research. We have to identify the people who are deeply interested, because it needs a lot of commitment, needs a lot of patience to get the result. You can't get the result just one day. You have to wait for years to get the result. And as a part of it, we were able to have build a good team of people who are able to start at least say they sow the seeds of research in the minds of youngsters. So this is an area where there's a lot of potential to go for the research, and that's how we brought in. See, I'll tell you, for a person or an organization which has a commitment to do a good work, whether it's any work, good work, money is not a problem. People are there to pour in the money, but they want to put in the money for a right person and a right organization, because we should not go waste, we should not go to different areas. Definitely people are there. Now we see a lot of people, our own people, contributing in crores for research purpose. In our own country, philanthropists are there. People are there, but we have to tap them. We have to show that we are committed. That's how the research seed is put into young minds, and many of them now have started after going back to their respective places. They are doing it, and that's how the research is developing, which is a good sign.
Absolutely, absolutely, sir. Sir, with changing times, I think the perspective of dentistry, particularly in India, has also gone a kind of, quite a revolution, as well as quite upliftment. Because, like, just a small story to add on to your very interesting life story, that my father used to tell that when he had to choose dentistry, he was very upset, because that time people would not look up to dentists like, oh, you are a dentist kind of thing. And it seems that girls didn't want to marry dentists. So, so that was an interesting thing. But from that era onwards, today we have moved on a lot. But as in the Indian scenario, what I have seen, as well as I hear from the environment of new students or aspiring dentists, that they face a lot of challenges when they are transitioning from typical academics to start their own clinical practice, or probably join somewhere as a consultant. So, as a pioneer in this field, sir, it would be very nice if you give us some insights about how these young people or aspiring people should prepare themselves for facing the real world challenges when it comes to clinical dentistry or any other jobs related to dentistry.
Yeah, you see, after that, because any institution is not built with only brick and mortar. What is there inside is very important, because three aspects while we impart the education is training, service, and research. These are the three things. And when naturally the student, when he's in an institution, is always in a protected environment. When he or she goes out, then the real challenge, whether they go in for a practice, whether they go in for service, whether they go in for abroad, then they wake up, how I can manage this, how am I confident enough. So that is where the institution should play a role, that the graduate, we are not just a factory producing graduates, we are having the human beings. So we have to see that they live up to the challenges in the society, because patients are also now very educated with all this available Google data, because Google doctor is much more impactful than the real doctor. So they come up with all sorts of questions. But the one thing I tell is, all my students who pass out, who always have an ethical practice. See, that is very important, because I am in practice from nearly about 50 years. I do a very part-time practice, and have patients of 3 generations. They come because of the confidence and the ethical practice. That is the only thing. Unethical practice, shortcuts, you may make money. But if you are looking at the long term, you have to have an ethical practice. And when you are treating a patient, treat as if you are treating your own son or daughter or parents. because that is the one which is very important to gain the confidence. When once you have the confidence of the patients, no, they will never go out. They, wherever they are, even today, 10% of my patients who are abroad, when they come here on a holiday, they come for the treatment. They don't want to go in America because they say that still we have the confidence. That is very important because unfortunately, in all the fields, as you know, lot of unethical practices are going on, and doctors are also drawn into consumer court, and a lot of problems are there. Because as long as we stick to the ethical practice and to satisfy the needs of the patients or their family, of course, you have to make charges, you have to make your own living. I don't say that you be concentrating charges or whatever your professional qualification, your professional competency, that has to be respected. But you have to stick to the ethical practice. That's the only way of gaining the confidence and building up your practice. Of course, it takes time. It cannot happen overnight. It takes time. But when once it happens, you are there. Patients are there with you for decades till you practice because they always like to come back. In India, still, it is a confidence of the patients and their families in the doctor is still the same. Only nowadays we find because of few people practice unethical practices, people are going and blaming the medical profession. It has also become trade and like that. A lot of we hear such stories. But my advice to any youngsters is we have decent practice, definitely, because you have to make a living. You have to get married, you have to support the family, education, everything, definitely. But always do ethical practice. There is one which is very important to build up the confidence of the patient and your practice also.
Right, sir. Right. Thank you, sir, for that very important advice. Well, sir, as in this today's era, I think we are seeing another kind of revolution when it comes with technology, and probably it has become more pressurizing in these days. So, and I think medical education is also not away from this advancement in technology. So, what is your opinion on integrating innovative technologies and digital platforms into academic programs?
Yeah, I accept that the technology has helped us a lot to further the education, whether medical education or engineering or any branch. Especially during COVID, it brought a lot of changes. And, people were not even aware of all these online programs, online conferences, online meetings, so many things. So that changed the perspective. And technology is definitely a very good tool as long as we use it for a good purpose. But nowadays we are hearing this artificial intelligence. Every day in the paper it comes, artificial intelligence is making inroads into this field, that field, and we don't know how it is going to happen in the next 10 years because the way in which the world is moving in this artificial intelligence, how it is going to be. Because we see now robotic surgeries, robotic way of treatment and all those things. But still I feel we should not give up our natural intelligence. We should not surrender to the artificial intelligence. We should use it as a tool, take the good part of it. For example, atom was discovered by Einstein for a good purpose, but later on it was used for a destructive purpose of the humanity. Even now we are feeling the effect of Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Like that, any discovery is certainly good, but we should not become slave for that, for artificial intelligence. We have to retain our innovative intelligence because otherwise you become so much addicted to that. Without that, life becomes useless, paralyzed. Just like now, without mobile phones or internet, if you're off for 1 hour, the entire world, as if something has happened, it collapses. So we should not become. Take the good part of it, develop it, and use it for your profession, use it for the good of the patients, and for your own. But certainly we should not give up our innate intelligence or native intelligence. That's how I feel. Otherwise, we also become another machine-like, and already life is machine-like life, and further it becomes like that.
Correct, sir. Correct. It is so wonderful to have your insights actually, and you are telling the practical truth. And I completely agree with you that with this AI and other technological booms that are being thrown to us, I think if we use them as more of a productivity tool to increase our productivity rather than just surrendering ourselves or our natural instinct, that as you said, I think. Uh, we just need to see this as more of an adjunct rather than making it primary, and that is what I also feel. And thank you so much for that advice and insights. So it has been a fantastic conversation. I think till date I have this is one of the best episodes that I am into. Because sir, knowing you and your experience itself, we gather a lot of information, knowledge right from your journey. So, but still, I think we can go for hours. But I know that we need to stop somewhere. So, coming to the concluding part of our conversation today, the one question which I asked to most of my guests, and definitely to you, I would ask is that, sir, what would be your advice to aspiring dental students who want to join dentistry and pursue a career in the field? Just to give a tag with this is that, because why I'm asking you this, at least in Indian scenario, what I see, many people, many students, they think that they talk about the dentistry is dying and it is saturated, and lot of negative thoughts are propelling inside the young minds. But then, just like you, I believe that it is just, we need to be ethical, we need to respect our patients, and because dentistry is absolutely a hands-on skill, nobody can take that from us, take that thing from us. So what would be your advice to aspiring dental students, sir?
See, in my opinion, the healthcare has no limit. Sky is the limit. Because as long as mankind is there, diseases will be there. And with all this population boom and challenges, we are coming out with new diseases. The disease pattern is changing. So when when a young student wants to join a dentistry or any field, it should be out of choice. See, that is my choice. I want to do dentistry only, or any field as a matter of fact, and they should develop passion for it. See, if you don't have passion for that, then any field that you take, and you have to excel. Whatever the field you are there, you have to excel. You have to be the best among the people to come out when they practice or in academics or when you go abroad. You have to be best. That is absolutely, there is no other thing. Other thing is hard work. And of course, hard work and sincere work, and those are the things. And always have an open mind. I always say, at the end of as a teacher to my students, I used to say that if a person has to come up well in his profession, whatever the profession, he should always have an open mind. He should have a conservative praise. If all people go on praising you are like that, then actually you think that you are the very high. And conservative praise and liberally in constructive criticism. See, that's the only thing which will help you to correct yourself, because nobody is perfect. Even I'm not perfect in all aspects. I'm deficient in some aspects, but definitely when there's someone point out, I have to take it as sort of an advice and do it. So that's the one which is very important you have to develop from the student days, because after passing out, they pass out in 23 or 24. The next 40 years, 50 years, they will be in the profession. You come across variety of people, variety of situations, Not always it will be very good. Adverse situations are more in life. So you have to face those adverse situations, how to handle it. You should not get depressed over it. You should have called it challenge, take it as a challenge, and certainly with a good training background, with a good family support, and one can certainly do very well in their profession. And no doubt, some phase there will be some demand, it's less. Oh, dentistry, nobody is taking. CSR will take when they can. Why should I join? I will go somewhere. See, if you have a liking, if you have passion for it, you take it up. And along with that, you develop some other areas like any other art, like music or sports or anything. Because you should not only restrict to your professional field, you should bit of widen your horizon to extracurricular activities, because ultimately those are the things which are going to make you as a human being and approach in life, not only in your profession, in your whole life will change if you inculcate both science and arts together rather than science alone. That's my advice, and sky is the limit in healthcare. And one has to make a choice, one has to work hard, one has to see that the things are taken, decisions are taken at the right time and the right place, and with the good support. I'm certainly sure that younger generation will not get frustrated, will not get disappointed. Suddenly the world is so wide open now with all the barriers lost, and certainly you can move around and make a career. Only it needs a great determination and a blessing from parents and family, God, and of course a little bit of luck. But these are the things which are together. Still, the horizon is very wide. The youngsters have to make a mind, because the next 50, 60 years it belongs to them, and we will see a lot of changes in science, in the society itself, and the world itself. We have to face those challenges, and that's what I advise.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And it was wonderful talking to you today. And I'm sure all our audience, including myself, we have, gathered lot of inspiration and education from your insights that you shared today. Thank you so much.